All right, so just for some people that's new to budgeting, I shared this on the group earlier today. I just wanted to go over with some people that may have questions, or to just let you guys know what I use it for. Other people can use it for different things, but I've tried several different ways to do it in Excel, and it's always I got to run to this tab, that tab, this tab, and I was tired of doing it. I wanted everything in one tab. So basically, I started by saying, all right, I get paid twice a month, so I get paid bi-weekly, basically. Sometimes it could fall into 3 times a month, but that's rare. Anyway, so bi-weekly. So I put how much I would make bi-weekly, and then the monthly pay. So if you get paid bi-weekly, it's whatever you get paid times 2. So basically that formula is already there. Now say for instance I go in and get a raise. Say they give me a raise of about $200. So instead of $1,400 now, it'll be $1,600. So once I do $1,600, did you notice the monthly pay changes? So some of us, like I said, we do get raises. Hopefully nobody gets a demotion and lose money, but that's why I left some of these figures in here so that the formulas can stay with them. Now, the part that took me the longest is the bills part, because I had to sit there and really map out. Pen and paper is handy for this. All the bills that I pay. Like here I put the company name and then what that bill is. Or why I'm paying that company. So like Verizon is my cable provider, JCP&L is my light provider, gas, PSE&G, so forth and so forth, with everything that I am obligated to pay for the month. Then I went online, and the funny thing is, a lot of this stuff you can access online, but a lot of people don't use it. I strongly recommend, if you never went to your cable provider and set up an account, do it. Liberty Mutual, car insurance, Netflix, everything. It's good to have it on online, because what I did was I went to each and every one of these accounts online and I got the due date. Some people don't even know their due dates for some of their stuff, but if you're going to start budgeting, you need to know your due date. It's going to be critical that you know it so that you can pay that bill on time. Now the balance column is red because to me, if you got a balance, it's negative. That means you owe somebody money. It's not your money to keep anymore. You have to hand it out to them because you borrowed it, or whatever the case may have been. So like the lights and cable, I don't have a balance because I'm up to date on those bills. So that will always be 0. So that's where you see the dashes in there. Liberty Mutual, Liberty Mutual, when you get car insurance, this should also be 0 too. Just put a 0 and it automatically does it, because that's the way I have it as money here, formatted as money. So Liberty Mutual, when you first get your car insurance, they'll tell you, all right, it's $1,500 for 6 months or $3,000 for the year. My car insurance is for the year, so I will put, all right, so they say $3,000 for the year. I would start this off with $3,000. My monthly payments on the car is $305.40. We're gonna say that, right? And every time I pay this, I actually deduct it from here. There is a formula where you can put it in, but I didn't do it. I just want to keep this nice and simple for you if you want to get into more detail about Excel, because I do use Excel a lot at work, so I am a little Excel savvy and I have taken the training courses. But like I said, we're going to keep it simple. Netflix, you put how much that would be. If you got the $9.99, $10.99, $11.99, whatever package you got, you would put that in. It shouldn't be a balance because Netflix will cut you off, so you would just put your monthly payment in here. So you shouldn't have a balance with Netflix. They'll cut you off. You put your monthly payment. Here would just be, see with gas, these stuff fluctuates. So what I did was I went online and looked at the bill over the last, like cable, I'll know. Like, all right, I pay $82 a month. That's what it usually is. But lights and gas always fluctuate. So like in the summertime, your gas will be cheaper and your electric will be higher and vice versa. So I look at the last 3 bills and I do like an average. And that's what I'll say my monthly payment is. And the good thing about that is, like, when it switches the seasons and you use more gas and less light, if you keep it the same, you'll wind up with a credit, and it'll kind of work itself out. You can also go on a budget plan with these guys. So and say, look, I want my bills to be the same, and they'll work out a budget plan for you where you can have a fixed monthly payment. That'll be for like a whole nother video or something. So when we get down to here, these are the credit cards. A lot of us have them. A lot of us have a lot of credit card debt. You list out each and every one of the credit cards and the balance. If it's not 0, then you should have a balance in this box and your monthly payment. So in my case, what I did was, say for instance, this card was $1,000 balance. I set a goal that I wanted to have this paid in 2 months. So 2 months for me, since I get paid bi-weekly, would be 4 payments. So I just did a quick formula that equals this, and I want to divide it by 4. And that's how much my monthly payment would be to get this done, and this the goal that I set for it. And you can do that with your other bills as well, especially if you know how much you owe to get it down and you set a goal. It's always important to set goals, especially for these credit cards. Sometimes we can't live up to that goal. So say for instance, one pay period, I don't have the $250. So I'll pay less than the $250. I'll pay $200. But then it'll automatically calculate once I take this down. Say, all right, say I paid the $200. So right now I owe $800, right? It'll adjust it for me. But that's, you got to remember, that's going off of 4 payments. So we want to change that 4 to a 3. And guess what? My next month bill is just a little bit higher because I wasn't able to pay it. And hopefully my next time I pay it. So hopefully I'll have that $266 to get myself back, where then it'll drop to $200. It'll work itself out. The formula, you just got to play around with it for it to work for you. That's just some examples of that. Now here I put the pay periods for 2 months because my goal is to actually pay these guys off in 2 months. These 3 guys here in 2 months. It's actually for this, all 4 of these in 2 months. So I put, I get paid the 15th, 29th, 13th, and 27th. And this is the amount I get paid each time I get paid. So that just helped me see, all right, Jackie, you get paid on these days, and this is how much you get paid. So in this column, once you put in all your balances, you'll see the total bills and debt here. Fine. All right, this is how much I owe. School loans, we know it's probably $60,000. This probably can be well over $100,000. Could be $200,000. But at least you'll see it, and you know it changes. So you'll see some change. Some people like to say, all right, A, B, C. Me, I don't. I just want to see what it is at that point, and work towards getting it down. I don't want to see, all right, it was $10,000. Now it's like column 1, $10,000. Column 2, $9,800. I just want to see what it is. I don't care what it was before, because you know what, I'm getting closer to getting it to 0, and that's my goal, is to get it to 0. Monthly payments will be here. So over here, that kind of helps, because the monthly payments is basically your monthly bills. So in this scenario, I put, all right, my monthly bills is $27.95 and 33 cents. My monthly payments, how much I make a month, which was $29.06, but I showed you a little example. $29.06. I only have $111.06 left after bills. Now this is key to me. The reason why I put this in here is because I want to see over time. Like say for instance, I keep paying these guys down and I get them to 0. This amount should go up. Every month it should go up a little bit, because you're paying off debt that you'll never have to pay again if you don't use these cards. Now a lot of these bills you do have to pay every month, but not all of them. And so what, I got 13 bills in total. Probably 9 of them you have to pay every month. So you'll see your amount left after bills, which you can take and say, all right, say for instance all my bills is paid, this is what I have left. Then I can take this 111 and say, you know, I'm gonna put it in my savings account, or I'm gonna do this with it, or I'm gonna do that with it. I'm gonna take this 111 and I'm gonna put it towards this to make this go down even quicker. It's up to you and how you want to actually eliminate some of your debt and but don't think because you got this $111 that you should go out and actually buy a pair of shoes or go out to eat. Or no, that $111 should be utilized to get something else down that you have a balance of. That's how I look at it. To each his own, but that's how I look at it. And I think that's the smart thing to do, because it's kind of hard to save when you're in debt. You can do it, but it's like it kind of defeats the purpose to me. My thing is, I want to get, now school loans is good debt. So I'm not going to, if this is $60,000, I'm not going to say, all right, I'm going to keep, school loans is good debt. If it's, as long as it's paid on time, it's not a bad debt. So I'm not worried about that so much, but I'm saying like credit cards or some loans that you took out, like stuff like that. I would take that 111 and apply it towards that. And then once you say, like for instance, I put here, I want to pay this off first by the 22nd. Say this is $500, right? And I'm paying this, like we said, I'm going to just copy that formula in there. We're going to change that to 4 just to get the amount right. So $125. Now, once this is paid on the 27th, guess what? That $125 can go towards another credit card to knock that down more. You know what I mean? And once this is paid off, I can take that $125 and that $226 and pay towards that to knock that down to get rid of it. Because like I said, once you clear your debt that you know is not like a revolving debt, like as far as lights, gas, cable, rent, then you can actually have more access to saving. Okay, so I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but I'm just trying to tell you like how I help myself. So next is, I think this is another hard part. Like this is the first, this is the second. So then you got to say, all right, I get paid on the 15th. I only did the first two here. So I get paid on the 15th. What I usually look at is the due dates. So if I see something with a balance here saying, all right, it may be past due or it needs to be paid, I'll pull that first. I'll take those two first. So this is the 15th. I'll take, all right, the credit card, I have to pay at least $100 and I'll put it here. And, or, you know what I mean? You go by the pay date and the due date and the past due date. So another way I was doing it too is like, all right, I get paid the 15th. The light bill is due on the 15th. So that has to be paid. And then the credit card is due on the 6th. So even if I make the minimum payment and not what I said I was going to make here, and you know what I mean? At least I paid something on it, and it'll bring this balance down. Whatever, I'm going to use this for instance. Bring this balance down. I'll just change that balance and work out the formula later. I'm sorry. And I'll work out the formula for that later. But I would pay, like I said, the stuff that I know is immediately due soon, the 16th, the 15th, I'll pay those. And then I'll go back to, all right, this is past due, this is past due. That's another way to do it. It's so many ways that you can work this to make it work for you, to get these bills and these debts down. Just got to let you know, Rome wasn't built overnight. It's going to take time, a lot of time and patience, and a lot of sacrifice. That is one thing about budgeting. It takes a lot of sacrifice. You got to be willing to sacrifice. And another thing that's good about budgeting is like there's so many skills you're utilizing when you're budgeting. So you're planning. You're financially goal seeking because you know you got this debt and you want to get here, you want to get this house, you want to get that, and you know, all right, I'm starting from A, I want to get to Z. How do I get there? So you're planning and you're actually doing math and you're financially goal seeking, and then you're using a lot of logical thinking. Like, all right, if I pay this and then pay that, just kind of like what I was going through in the video. That was me logically thinking of how I can get to where I want to be, which is to own a home one day. I just want to let you know personality plays a huge role in budgeting. So you do have to fix your mindset. You really have to be devoted and ready and willing to sacrifice. There's going to be times your friend's going to hit you up to say, look, oh, we got this, we're going out here, you want to come? You got to remember, it's like, all right, I already got a dress, I already got shoes, but guess what? You got to eat, you got to do this, you got to do that. It starts adding up. You got to pay for parking, you got to pay for tolls. Stuff adds up. So another thing I learned while I was budgeting, I was doing challenges within a budget, and I didn't know. Like, they have a 30-day challenge of not spending. They have other challenges out there, and I'm like, wow, doing this whole budgeting and stuff, I was already doing that, and I didn't even know. Sometimes they say what you don't know won't hurt you, but like I said, this is how I'm going about clearing my debt. To each his own. This may work for you, this may not, but I'm going to let you know personality plays a key role, and if you want it to work, it will. Like my mother always taught me, if something is worth having, it's worth fighting for. If it comes too easy, it's not worth having. So if you want that house, if you want that car, or whatever you may be seeking, this can help. Budgeting is, I believe that's the beginning. You have to budget. I hope this helps somebody. If you know somebody that this may help, just share the video. Let them know. If you guys have any questions, or if you want me to cover something else, or if you just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you guys, and have a great day.